if we would have lost that game, 3 games in the season last year, I think the Temple fans would have, with a sigh of relief, instead of storming the floor.
That just goes to show you how bad people want to beat you.
The program has some respect because now beating us is a big win.
From pretenders in '97 to contenders in '98, the Michigan State Spartans are feeling the growing pains inherent with winning. Big Ten elite after earning a share of the conference title last year, the Spartans are once again a national power as well as a national target.
We are going to have a bullseye on our back.
Michigan State this year probably be that game that's highlighted on a lot of people's schedule. And like last year, it was easy to sneak up on people, but this year, you know, people are going to be, you know, ready to come at us.
Last year, we would mark, you know, teams like Michigan, you know, down on the calendar, and this year, every team is doing that for us.
No one will feel the challenge more than consensus All-American guard Mateen Cleaves.
Probably every point guard is going to want to bring their best game at Mateen Cleaves and at Michigan State, you know, so I can't get caught up in trying to prove people, you know, I can throw a no-look pass or make the fantastic pass or the fantastic shot. I just got to keep it simple and keep my teammates in the game. You know, I think that's what made us good last year.
As a team, Michigan State will have to learn quickly and early. 3 of their opponents in the first month of the season were all projected as preseason top 10 teams.
If we're going to step up and get this program to that kind of level, then you got to do it. I mean, Connecticut had to do it at one time, Duke had to do it at one time, you know, Kansas, I'm sure, had to do it at one time, and Indiana, and it's just that those teams had to do it a long time ago.
When we all came here, you know, Antonio, myself, Mateen, Morris, all the older guys, we wanted to play on national television. We wanted to play these teams, so this is our opportunity.
We can't, you know, pinpoint our season on 2 or 3 games, you know, because, okay, say for instance, if we lose, then we're going to go in the Big Ten with our heads down with no confidence, then it's not going to get no easier.
The other side of that is, you know, if you can win some, then it's a plus the other way.
While the laurels of the past are worthy, the Spartans are well aware of their high expectations this season.
Once you get satisfied, I think that's when you have problems. I'm not walking around here with a national championship on my finger.
People have said that we are now the hunted, not the hunter, and I keep saying, you know, we haven't won an outright Big Ten championship. We haven't won a game in the Big Ten tournament. We haven't won a national championship. There's a lot of things that I think we're still hunting for.
Now, Mateen Cleaves in Durham. Tradition means Cameron Crazies, 11 Final Fours, and the last back-to-back national champions. This year's brand is eager to add to that lore. For the Spartans, legacy means an assembly line of All-American guards created by magic, a spirit that lives in the heart of the latest version. The United Center has filled up. Basketball star folks in Chicago ready for the main event of night 2 of the Grade 8. Michigan State, preseason favorites in the Big Ten, currently ranked number 9 against the preseason number 1 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils, now ranked number 4. It was a very grim and determined Mike Krzyzewski who came in here for the shoot-around today, Digger, because he knows his Duke team, by not playing very well in Alaska in a couple of games, not just the loss to Cincy, have given opponents a blueprint for how to beat them and also given them confidence.
But I think their defensive intensity will really be going after it tonight. But Michigan State has to do 2 things, Chris. Charlie Bell, as well as our guy Mateen Cleaves, have got to penetrate. That seems to be a Duke weakness on defense when you penetrate to the basket. On the other side, I really think Michigan State's front line, when you look at Andre Hudson as well as Antonio Smith, this will be a big challenge for them to go after those big bruisers that Duke does have in the front line.
Yeah, but Elton Brand got a little trouble in Alaska as they kind of shoved him around, and the Spartans have seen that tape, believe me. Courtside, Brad Nessler and Nick Vitale.
All right, Chris, thanks. You know, Mike Krzyzewski threw him out of practice Monday, so he's not happy. But Elton Brand, you know, people forget he only played 19 games entering this season. He wasn't part of the whole thing last year, but he's a big part this year, isn't he?
I'll tell you one thing. You talk about an All-American. You talk about a super young man who really epitomizes a student athlete. We're talking about Elton Brand from Peekskill, New York. You don't have to worry about Mr. Brand. He's such a physical force on the interior, and he's flat out a superstar. In fact, he's awesome, baby, but I'll tell you this. He got 7 shots. Trajan Langdon got 8 shots up in Alaska. And as Mike Krzyzewski would say very emphatically to the team, that is totally unacceptable at Duke that two guys like that don't shoot the rock.
Well, they'll get at least twice that many tonight, I would think. Mateen Cleaves on the other side, a Big Ten Player of the Year, second-team All-American last year. He's a guy that helped them to get where they were last season.
Yeah, you know, he was brilliant last year, Brad, but you and I were talking off the air, looking at his numbers. He had 10 turnovers in a loss against Temple. That will not get it done against Duke. He's got to protect the basketball. He's very strong physically. He's an outstanding defensive player. He's got that upper body strength, very reminiscent of Quinn Buckner, our partner, when he played at Indiana. And he could be a dominant point guard, but he's got to be able to distribute the ball, and he's got to make the big play. If they're to win tonight, he has to be an All-American. They cannot win tonight with him being mediocre.
Well, Tom Izzo's got the experience back. He's got a good team. How good, we'll find out when they take on the Duke Blue Devils. We get set for the Spartans and Duke. And a lot of tradition in these programs, much like we had last night.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Tiger Woods 99 PGA Tour Golf from EA Sports, and in part by Sam Adams. It's what's inside, and by Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
Getting set for our nightcap. Michigan State and Duke from United Center here in Chicago. We talked so much about Mateen Cleaves. We can't forget about those big guys, Jay Billis.
Well, Brad, Michigan State has great team speed and team quickness, especially in their front court. And the Spartans' transition game is the subject of our ESPN Spotlight. Take a look at Antonio Smith underneath the basket in the spot shot. When the shot goes up, he is rebounding hard, and he does not leak out early, doesn't leave until his team gets the ball. He starts last, but he finishes first. That's great transition basketball, and Michigan State is going to need to get some easy baskets in transition so they don't have to play all night against that tough Duke pressure in the half court. Brad?
All right, Jay, Michigan State for Tom Izzo in his fourth season. The starting lineups brought to you by EA Sports. And it looks like this. The backcourt is Bell and Cleaves, Houston, Klein, and Antonio Smith. About a 10-point scorer a game, and also their leading rebounder. And for the Duke Blue Devils, here's their lineup tonight. Avery, Trajan Langdon in the backcourt, Battier, Brand, and Carawell. And William Avery, the guy now that leads the charge, with Wojo having gone on to graduation for Mike Krzyzewski. 7 Final Fours, 19 seasons, and 437 wins later at Duke.
Certainly one of the leading candidates for the team in the 90s, along with Kentucky. It depends on what happens this year. But they both got multiple national titles, lots of trips to the Final Four, and that Duke program's been sensational.
Barry Sitton, Phil Robinson, and Don Rutledge, who just threw it up at center, are officials tonight. And immediately, Florida State's Klein comes out, or Michigan State's Klein comes out firing, and a big scramble for the basketball. And we've got a possession arrow involved here in the first 13 seconds. It'll show you the kind of hustle of these two teams. So Duke ball.
I think one thing, as you and I were talking off the air, Michigan State's certainly going to get the best hit from Duke. I mean, they're going to play with some really fiery emotion. They were shocked getting beat by Cincinnati.
Well, not very often that Duke even loses, but when they do, you and I have been together for the next game several times, and it sometimes isn't a pretty sight.
They really turned it up a notch. Battier's been hurt, as Jay Billis talked about him, actually been sick. Missed the game against Fresno State.
Baseline move is sweet by Elton Brand.
Didn't waste any time getting him a touch inside. As we said earlier, had only 7 shots against Cincinnati.
Cleaves had that partially blocked by Battier, and he's going to pick up the ball on a big pileup again. This thing looks like Duke playing Michigan State football.
I'll tell you what, that'll be an M&M or a mismatch. They don't want to play him in football, baby. They don't want to play him in football. What an up and down team in football. You talk about Michigan State. You know, a game like they did in Ohio State. Look at Brand now, posted inside. Look at this matchup. You got Hudson trying to play against Brand. That's one of the areas real concern for Michigan State. I talked to Gus Ganakas, their former coach, who did color commentary here on radio. He said post defense is a concern in this.
And lost ball out of bounds. Carawell just bounced it off his foot. Turnover Duke. Here's Cleaves, the 6'2 junior All-American.
He is so super strong, very physical, really controls tempo.
Nice speed down low. Didn't convert though. shot by Klein, and Battier has a rebound.
You know, Jason Klein is starting to really gain some confidence in shooting the rock the last 2 games. He's taken 25 field goal attempts.
Avery, great runner, to put Duke up 4-0.
He had 30 against Cincinnati, won the MVP of the tournament, but he really wanted that gold trophy instead.
Baseline, Cleves open.
Got to make that open shot.
Avery clears off the board.
You got to make those open shots. You're the All-American. They look for you to convert that.
Michigan State 0 for 4 so far early.
Avery trying to make that adjustment to being a point guard.
What great position by Brandon. A great feed from Carrawell.
Just tremendous execution, Brad. Using the diagonal pass. Great post position inside. Seals off really well.
Turnover. Avery trying to make it 8-0. Does.
He's got that scoring ability. Watch out. Watch out. Mr. Rizzo may need a quick TO, baby. You knew they were going to come out with fire. I mean, there was no doubt about it. All you had to see him walk in the arena today and a shoot around.
Granger looking for help. Sets a pick for Cleves, and he just goes immediately down low to Hudson, and he walked with it.
Hudson with that walk. Hudson has been a real solid scorer on the interior. He's got a nice touch. Look at Tom Izzo. Has done a solid job with this program since taking over for Johnny Emico. He learned so much from Joe. Was such a sharp tactician on that sideline.
So Duke out to the 8-0 start in the first 2.5 minutes.
Mike Krzyzewski back home, grew up playing high school here in Chicago.
A lot of people here tonight.
Oh, he need a lot of tickets. He's getting all kinds of tickets.
Here's Langdon, first time Trojans touch it. And he's double teamed immediately. That leaves Battier open from the top. Rattled out of 3. Carrawell keeps it alive.
Shane Battier was Mr. Basketball in Michigan. As you look at Carrawell kissing him on the glass.
10-0 Duke. And Langdon with a steal on the other end.
They are really focused. You can look in their eyes. They are so focused here tonight.
Langdon. It's 13.
Better get a TO, baby. Better get a TO. WSO. Get a TO.
13-0. Trajan Langdon, the first time he shot it tonight, and he certainly makes it count with 16:52 to go in the first half. It is all Blue Devils here early. Michigan State down 2 touchdowns. 16:52 to go in the half. They missed the extra point, though. By the way, Duke gets a new football coach officially tomorrow. Carl Franks, who played at Duke in the early 80s, coming back after being a longtime assistant to Steve Spurrier. We wish him luck in taking over that program for Fred Goldsmith, who was let go.
There's that good man-to-man defense by Duke. Really trying to pressure on the ball. They have not really played good defense early this year.
Nice move by Peterson. Finally breaks the long spell.
They
get their first basket, excuse me, Dick, with 3.5 minutes in.
He's an outstanding player. He really gives them a lot of point production. He's very explosive.
He was the MVP in their own classic, the Spartan Classic. Langdon, 1 3-pointer already, and he is a killer. And he puts that thing up.
Man-to-man defense being played by Michigan State, trying to play very aggressive on the defensive end.
Burgess in there now. Carrawell on the dribble.
Burgess had a big game against Fresno State. 15 points, 16 rebounds. Elton Brand at 21 and 21.
Langdon around a pick, off balance. Chance for a 4-point play.
What a shooter. He was a baseball player. Couldn't hit the curveball, so he said bye-bye to professional baseball. But he can find that hole in that grip, baby. Watch this kid. He's one of the great shooters in college basketball. The Alaskan Assassin. Played home in Anchorage recently in that Great Alaska Shootout. But he only got 8 shots in that final game.
Cleves just kind of raked him down the chest on his jersey as he was falling away, and drops in his 21st 3-pointer already of this young season, and a chance for a rarity, a 4-point play.
You know, it's going to be amazing. He'll probably ultimately, as I say, become the all-time leader in 3-point shots made at Duke, and the leader is Bob Hurley. A lot of people said when Hurley came to Duke, well, he can't shoot the long-range jump shot.
Well, he's only 12 shy of Hurley now. Duke, and a guy that hustled for Mike Krzyzewski as a player and a coach, knows all about it, Jay.
Well, Brad, coaches, as they come into big games, talk to their teams about coming with that threshold level of intensity. And thus far in the basketball game, Duke has gotten every loose ball. They're the ones getting on the floor. Michigan State are the ones bending over at the waist. And that's been the difference thus far. Obviously, Duke has hit their shots, but they've also gotten loose balls, big rebounds. And look at how Langdon looking at the rim even as he falls down until that goes into the basket.
Jay, you know all about coming back after a loss and the practices you have to go through for Krzyzewski. They're not easy, right?
He raised his voice a couple times at me, I can admit that.
Oh, Jay, he really did.
He's had it knocked away by Avery.
He's such an intense competitor. He's really such a fierce competitor. But an intense former West Point cadet. Played for the General Robert Montgomery Knight. I'll tell you, Michigan State, though, Tom Izzo's done a phenomenal job to win the Big Ten or actually share it last year with Illinois. In fact, they lost here in their first round. This might not be a great place for them.
Yeah.
They lost in the tournament here last year to Minnesota. Tom Izzo doing a great job recruiting. He's really created a lot of excitement. He's got a great kid coming in next year, Jason Richardson.
Nice feed down low. Hudson ran out of room, though. Back on top to Cleve.
See, Cleve's got to make some big shots. They got to look for him to make some big shots.
Smith, the offensive rebound, he puts it back in.
Antonio Smith comes from a great football family. A brother playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his other brother was an All-American this year, Robert Smith, down there at
defensive end at Michigan State. Yep. Nando playing for the Jags.
He's a pretty good basketball player as well, Robert.
I would say the family pickup games would be a little rough. Brand's tied up. Possession arrow is going for Michigan State.
Defensive tie, Michigan State.
Gonna watch Brand on the inside, trying to post up defensively. Now here he is, look at him right now, very active on the defensive end, using that big body of his. Great student as well, academically. You know, you look at Michigan State, they got 4 kids from the city of Flint. I'll tell you something. You talk per capita, they produce so many great players. Glenn Rice, Andre Rison, Terry Furlow, Trent Tucker. I could go on and on. Roy Marble, Jeff Brayer.
Around to pick Peterson, got a fairly good look. Rebound Battier. He does all the dirty work.
Yeah, he really does. You know, he's an outstanding defensive player. Mike said maybe the best defensive player he's had at Duke.
Pretty good recommendation. Brand underneath, missed the shot, but drew the foul. I think it's Smith that got him. Let's check in with Jay again.
Well, Brad, Elton Brand has gotten an awful lot of attention, especially after his performance in the gold medal winning Goodwill games for the United States. But one thing these NBA scouts are looking at him tonight is how he handles double teams, whether he can pass out of them or if he insists on just bullying his way through them. And when he got double teamed the first time, he turned the ball over. Brad?
At the free throw line he stands, and he's got 5 points so far. Talk about all the NBA scouts that have been here the last couple of nights.
Yeah, take a look right there. Brian Hill on the left, Stu Jackson, general manager, Vancouver on the right. They're all in the building tonight. Kevin McHale.
Kid runs the court so well. You see a 20-20 night against Fresno State, actually 21-21.
That's impressive. Will Robinson here, the Detroit Pistons, one of the great guys in pro basketball.
15-point lead again, matching their biggest of the night. Foul in the lane. It's going to be on Carrawell, I think.
See, Mike had him really concerned about the defensive effort early this year. They were tied at halftime with Fresno State. Really gave up 85 points to Notre Dame, and I know they were blowing them out, but the bottom line is, as Mike said to me today, so I'm not happy with our defensive effort. And he knows to win consistently and win big. Obviously, they're going to win there lots and lots of games because from 1 to 9, they are so talented and so well coached.
They're scrapping for the ball tonight on the floor. That foul, by the way, was on Langdon, not Carrawell. That ball took off a little bit on Granger.
Michigan State's got a solid backcourt defensively when you talk about Charlie Bell and also Mateen Cleaves. You look at Kelly, who came back from an injury and now is giving him a third guard, giving him some extra play. Michigan gets a win tonight. Mr. Ellaby gets a W. Backcourt dominated team. Michigan this year don't have a whole lot along that baseline.
19-4 with 14-10 left in the first half. All Duke so far. Langdon looking down low.
Getting that motion game going, getting good spacing.
Carrawell spins, got a shot off, but he walked with it. Look at that other trip down court. Thomas Kelly lost the wheel. That looks like
Al McGuire used to say when a guy lost his shoe, in fact, he played for Michigan State, he called them shoes. He said, shoes, shoes, shoes. I used to love my guy, Al. I used to love coaching against him, super guy. Al McGuire, one of the great, great basketball ambassadors.
Look at the pressure by Brand way out on top on Antonio Smith. Kelly got free, came up short, though. And Battier on the rebound.
They're really hesitating on their shots. Nice pass, great look.
Brand didn't finish it, but Avery did his job.
Yeah, Avery with that great look, trying to make that adjustment to be a point guard.
Smith couldn't find a handle, or he would have gone up with it. Peterson, offensive foul.
Great help on the defensive end. Great help. Peterson trying to slash to the goal.
This is William Avery's team to run now. Watch his pass.
Yeah, great look right here. Diagonal, there's Brand, who doesn't go in and convert it strong, and that's a rarity because he usually takes it right up to the goal. And you talk about a guy that used to convert it coming on a wing. I mean, you got Hurley in the middle, and he dishes it to Hill. Slam, jam, bam. Next time down, he says, no, Hill, you didn't take me out to dinner. I'm going to Christian Laettner. What a team they have. Back-to-back national titles, 91 and 92.
Part of 7 Final Fours in the last 13 years. Way outside. Avery, oh, man, that thing almost went. Was halfway down, and it comes back out.
He's got that range to the shooter. He's 11 for 22 against Cincinnati.
Rebound off to Carrawell.
Playing well defensively tonight, Duke, but they don't have the same personality defensively that they had last year with Wojciechowski putting that pressure on the basketball.
And the foul's going to be on Battier as they'll walk it the other way. Don't forget, take a look at ESPN.com news and notes. Massimino's 450th win.
Congratulations, Rolly.
And some of the other things you'll see, including the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Digger, you can talk with him during the second half for all the stories in college basketball. Or to talk to Digger, log on to ESPN.com. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis. Grade 8 here from United Center with 12:24 left in our second game of 2 days of good basketball. Double dribble called Cleves.
Yeah, Mateen Cleves really struggling here tonight. You know what I really think, in fairness to Mateen, he had those injuries. He had the shoulder injury. Yep. He had the ankle injury that occurred during the tryouts for Team USA. And you look at his turnovers right now, I mean, really, really high. But the bottom line is, for 2 months, he really couldn't play the kind of basketball he wanted. Did you see another score?
Langdon found a little seam, takes it in off the glass. Trajan got 9. On the other end, three-pointer goes for Klein.
That's what he can do. Klein can shoot that 3. Hudson can score around the basket inside. And Smith has become a little bit more aggressive inside. They got to get those guys active.
Battier goes offensive. Zalski was all alone at the free throw line and didn't take it. And now an elbow. And it's going to be a foul on Klein.
Corey Maggette, everybody loves him. They think Corey Maggette's going to be the next star at Duke on the floor. Right from the Chicago area here, played at Fenwick High School.
11:45 remaining. The lead has been as much as 21-4. Three-pointer on the other end held Michigan State, but they're still in a big hole. Kerr, a guy that knows how to use a pick if somebody sets him one. And Trajan Langdon for Duke doing likewise, Dick.
I'll tell you, watch him right now. Battier does all the little things. Freeze it right there. Look at that screen. You got to step out strong on him. Can't allow him to make the turn, but he allows him. See, Cleves allows him to make the turn. And once he makes that turn, he goes right to the basket. Matador defense right there by Mateen Cleves. Look at Shane Battier from out of Michigan, Detroit Country Days. Came from the same high school as Chris Webber.
That's right. Langdon off to a good start. Trajan with 9.
Hey, his buddy called me up today. His buddy, you ready for his buddy? Alex Rodriguez, the
right?
baseball superstar. He wants to come down and see the Dukies Saturday night. He asked me if I could get him tickets. I said, no problem. He said, I'm going to go see my buddy Trajan, who just nailed another trifecta.
His 3rd of the night, his 22nd of the year.
But I was angry. I heard he sent Bat's autograph to Mike Krzyzewski, and he sent you and me a bat. We better get a bat in the mail from Rodriguez autograph.
Granger outside. We saw him down at your big party, though, back in May.
He's a great kid. I'll tell you what, with everybody getting the money they're getting, Alex will get $20 million per year.
There's Langdon. You got to come out on him a lot quicker than that.
There he is, spotting up. He can flat out shoot it. You give him an open look.
Averaging almost 20 a game. Bell got a pick of his own. Missed it, though. And the rebound off to Peterson.
Good job. Peterson's very active. Bell was a big-time scorer on a high school level. Broke all the records, was a sensational scorer, but he's got to start to add a little bit more into his game on the perimeter, and that'll come with experience because he's been able to dominate as he did in high school, taking the ball to the basket.
Brand fades and drops it in.
I'll tell you, Elton Brand, what about soft hands? Does he have soft hands?
Runs the court so well. Had the injury problem last year, came back when nobody thought he'd even make it back for the end of the year, much less come back and become a freshman star.
Well, a lot of people thought they were the best team in America, even though they lost to Kentucky, where Kentucky made that unbelievable comeback, 17 down in the Elite Eight game. Look at a great position. Very tough for Andre Hudson to handle him here. He's so strong. You got to get help. You can't handle him one-on-one. Somebody's got to give you some help.
Carrawell called for a holding foul, trying to stay with Bell.
Personal foul, Chris Carrawell.
That's the first on Chris. Almost the midway point of the first half of our second game. If you missed it, Rhode Island came from down at halftime and well down in the first half to come back and beat Utah in our first game tonight. Duke shooting 71% from the floor here in the first half of the first half.
But I think what's really impressed Mike more probably than the offensive execution is the effort defensively.
And the hustle, yep.
They really came out scrapped. You and I talked, you see an offensive foul by McGetty, how focused they were. You could see it in the warm-ups. You could see it at the shoot-around when they gathered here today. They were here with a purpose. They were absolutely focused for what they've had to do. But this game is far from over. There's so much time left. But he's got to get on track. They can't win with him being mediocre. Talking about Mateen, please. Nice pass.
Backdoor cut and knocked out of bounds.
It was great just coming here today. Seeing so many of my friends from the Detroit area. Absolutely love it out there. I've had so many great people I got to know when I worked out in the Detroit area. It's beautiful, beautiful. Sports fans, good media people, both at the Free Press and the news. And just great seeing them.
Nice adjustment in midair by Bell, but he still can't convert. He had one good backdoor cut, missed that one, and then missed a double pump in the air. Here's Avery behind the back.
See, that's what he brings to the table. A lot of offensive ability. You don't want to take that away from him where you're just going to have him pass the basketball. You want him to capitalize on that.
Championship Saturday on ABC Sports, 4:30 Eastern. Kansas State. Michael Bishop will be in action. He'll take out Texas A&M in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship Shootout. And then the SEC down in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome. Tennessee against Mississippi State. T. Martin and company try to keep it unbeaten and get into that national championship game. And Tennessee lost their offensive coordinator, Dave Sutcliffe, taking over as the new head coach at Ole Miss. A lot of coaching changes, of course, in college football.
You know, Brad, what's really great, seeing a lot of assistant coaches getting chances now. So many guys that labor and work so hard, like Tom Izzo did, for example, on the Judd Heathcote, and giving them an opportunity. It's happening now in football.
Brad Netzler, Dick Vitale, and Jay Billis with you in United Center as Morris Peterson's trying to keep Michigan State single-handedly at least hanging around in this first half.
Yeah, he's not intimidated at all. I mean, he is really playing with a little bounce to his game. You can see he's a good offensive player.
Collision between Cleaves and Battier.
He said, Battier, don't lay that screen on me. You know, he was a football player. Everybody wanted him for football. I mean, Mateen Cleaves was one of the great rollout quarterbacks. Was super. Florida State wanted him badly.
He got sacked here.
Oh, look at this right here. No, he got Battier got sacked. Yes, sir. He said, get out of my way. Wow.
Well, he's got 2 fouls, more fouls than he has points. That's the bad news for Michigan State.
I think Mr. Saban would like to use him.
Yeah, I'd say. Carrawell looks into Battier, who had pretty good position.
Going to try to get a touch inside for Burgess. Snyder told me that he's been looking at film, really studying what a point guard does. And they've had some great ones they can show. Emma Good, Snyder,
Carrawell, nice drive, didn't finish. Cleaves down on the outlet. Got a pick and a 15-footer that he buried.
Yes, there it is. Mateen Cleaves gets on the board. Flint Northern High School hooked up with his buddy Antonio Smith. They won the state championship.
Spartans trying to creep back in this thing. They trail by 12 with 8:40 to go. They've been down by as many as 17.
See, that's what they got to do. They got to be patient. They can get back in the game. A little spurt, get it under single digits. They're too good a basketball team. You don't win the Big Ten, and certainly they're not intimidated. I can tell you that.
And Langdon almost turned it over. Actually, it wasn't his pass. Trajan handles it. Shot clock at 15, about the lowest we've gone. I think we had one time we got down under 10 in the first ball game tonight. And lane violation.
See, right now, a little lackadaisical by Duke, and they got to take advantage of this Michigan State. Izzo really recruiting big time. He and his assistant Tom Crean, who does a phenomenal job, is the brother-in-law of Jimmy Harbaugh, the quarterback. There's Tom working that sideline. They got a junior in Lansing that is unbelievable. Marcus Taylor. Remember the name. They say he is phenomenal, and I got that right from a man by the name of Irvin Magic Johnson.
He would know, wouldn't he? Nice backdoor pass. Reverse layout by Peterson.
I'll tell you, I love Mr. Peterson. He's instant offense, baby. And they made the Dukies get a timeout. The Spartans are back.
Cut it down to 10, 26-16, and Peterson has been the man. He's going to have his average by halftime the way things are going.
He came in and gave him a real spark immediately off that bench. He wants to be a roll-aid special, make my all-roll-aids team. Now watch this backdoor cut. We're going to watch a little backdoor cut on the baseline, and then the reverse. He said, I should get 3 for that. Degree of difficulty, I should get 3. Look at that reverse. Wow, that is unbelievable. That is Jordan-esque. Maybe it's rubbing off since Michael plays here. I mean, look at that play. Are you serious? Are you serious? You can't be serious, Brad. You can't be serious looking at that.
9 points for Morris Peterson. His dad played at Alcorn State. His mom was very athletic too, a volleyball, basketball, and track star at Mississippi Valley State. Both his sisters play hoops. So it's in the family, and he's got Michigan State in the game.
Quickly bring in Mr. Brand.
Avery leaves it out for Carrawell. Got a jumper.
Nice little medium range jump shot by Chris Carrawell. He's so strong with the basketball. Very physical point guard. He's got to get in the lane. He's got to penetrate and drive and get in the lane.
Trying to tip it up was Peterson.
That is not the All-American that I know watching the team Cleves play right here.
Not right now, he's not.
That's not the All-American.
Langdon may have gotten away with a walk. Ball comes loose anyway. Now it's Cleves on the lead to Bell.
Nice play right there. Tandem, good little bounce pass, and Charlie Bell does a great job running the court in transition.
Back to 10, 28-18 at the 7-minute mark.
I like Charlie when I saw him in the Magic All-Star. Adidas All-American.
It's such a great game against Oakland. A lot of the pro scouts went out of there saying, hey, you know, I know Mateen Cleves is good, but Bell might be a guy too.
What about this guy? Do you think the pros like the way he shoots the rock?
Yeah, I'd say that's his 4th three-pointer of the night.
He just looks like it's going to go in. When he releases it, he has that unbelievable follow-through, touch, rotation.
Trajan Langdon is perfect. 5 for 5 from the floor, and yes, indeed, 4 of them have been outside the arc.
He's been a trifecta specialist tonight. There he is. There's the Rainbow J, baby. Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan Assassin.
31-18 with 6:41 to go. Trajan Langdon killing everybody out there, and they're trying to get help defensively to stop him.
Watch him move without the basketball. We talked about that in the first game. As we're going to see the help defense right here. Watch Mr. Antonio Smith. Now watch this. Now here comes the curl move. Freeze it. See, here he is. He steps out to give help. But watch him recover back to his own man. See, he's going to see him right now step out, and he's going to try to recover. I'll tell you, what a great job helping recover defense by Antonio Smith. Look at Langdon right here. Just a great performance here tonight.
Trajan with 4 threes already in the first half. 71% from the floor for Duke. Langdon 15 points, almost by himself, has matched Michigan State. He's going to bring it up. Burgess on top. He's going to try to loft it into Brand, and Battier picks up the loose ball. He'll go up with it.
See, he's got to be a little bit offensive-minded, and I think this year he will be. He's been sick, as Jay talked about, in terms of having the flu. I love Shane Battier. He's a winner. He's the kind of guy that really helps you get to the winner's circle.
Shane didn't practice on Monday.
Look at Avery working so hard up front. He's a great combination guard. He can play either spot, point or the second guard slot.
Here's Hudson, and it knocked out of there by Burgess.
As Burgess on the inside, giving him some good minutes. I'll tell you one thing, he's improved on a free throw line. Last year was a disaster.
Yep, he's about 40% better than he was last year at the line.
Really worked on that. Changed his stance. One area Mike's got to be concerned about, he really has 2 guards only in terms of Avery and Langdon. He has other people that can adjust back there. There's our guy. There's our guy, Mr. Peterson. Nice stroke.
Second three-pointer for Morris. 33-21.
He just doesn't look like a Morris. He doesn't look like a Morris. I don't know why. Morris, I always look like guys with the 3-piece.
Well, his dad's Morris. Maybe he looks like his dad.
Wow.
They get the turnover. Chance to cut into the lead a little bit more. They can get it down to single digits before halftime. They'd have to be happy with that, I would think.
Very happy, especially having had a great performance out of Mr. Cleves.
Nice cross-court pass. Peterson again. Didn't get the roll. It almost dropped through. Klein keeps it alive. Now Hudson and Klein go down for it. Possession arrow is going to be in the favor of Michigan State.
I think one thing, Michigan State really getting after it up on the boards. As you look at Mike Krzyzewski, he's got a great assistant in Quinn Snyder, who's ready for a head job.
County Dawkins is there too.
As I look at Quinn Snyder, this guy already, I mean, he's got all kinds of degrees. I mean, he's got all kinds of academic degrees. He was a former point guard at Duke, played for Mike Krzyzewski.
You know, you hand out those head jobs, those head coaching jobs pretty handily. Every night you're giving some guy.
They deserve it. These guys work so hard. You watch them at practice and you see their ability and you know that they're just ready. And so many times athletic directors really get just only excited about musical chairs, taking a guy that just one plays, get some new blood, new fresh blood. Plus he doesn't take my job.
That's what Billis is trying to do. He used to be a Duke assistant.
He wants my job?
Hey,
oh,
who doesn't want your job?
I got the best one in America. Steal the money.
Kelly. Off balance. Rebound Langdon. Trajan's going to run with it on his own.
All the way. Trajan Langdon taking it coast to coast. A lot of people always question his speed and his quickness. He will find a spot in the NBA. When you can shoot the ball as well as Trajan Langdon, have his kind of mental attitude, somebody would like him on their roster.
Blue Devils by 14 with 4:20 left in the half.
Big 4 minutes right now for Michigan State. Big 4 minutes. They got to get on a little spurt and get this to single digits.
Smith trying to back in. Nice pass to Granger, and he drew a foul.
Great look by Antonio Smith, a product of Flint, Michigan. What a great city for producing basketball players. You look at Trajan Langdon, coast to coast. He goes coast to coast. Oh, the Cameron Crazies are going to be rocking down there Saturday night. Oh, could be a little travel. Could be a little travel. Maybe they missed.
He kind of lost possession of the ball, went from right hand, left hand back to the right hand, and he gets the basket for his 17th point.
I got to ask my buddies here tonight. Freddie Barracat, he would know. He's in charge of all the officials in the ACC, does a phenomenal job in evaluating and rating them. I got to run him ask him, what about there? Should have been a walk.
Being the head of officials is not a safe job right now. Just ask Jerry Seaman.
Oh, wow. NFL, I think it's brutal what they're doing to those NFL officials. I really do. I think it's absolutely brutal. Even though I think with the money they have in that league, they should definitely have full-time officials. Let them evaluate all weekend, let them look at film, and not be able to work in another job and have to come down and give them 6 figures.
That's the only thing I haven't teed you up on in the last 2 nights. You were waiting for it, weren't you?
Give them 6 figures. What's the big deal with the millions they're making?
Granger hit the first free throw. He got them both. First 2 trips to the line. Oh, the Spartans cut the lead back to a dozen with 4 to go in the half.
Trying to get some minutes out of Granger. Big body on the inside. First touch on the free throw line.
Trying to pick it up on the defensive end. Tom Izzo down on the crouch over there, clapping his hands, saying, come on, guys, let's get a stop. They're trying desperately to slow down Duke, and they do get it.
Now they're going to convert. They're going to take advantage of the opportunity.
Foul on the play. They'll walk it the other way when we come back from this timeout. It's 35-23. Left in the half, 35-23. Michigan State needing some more points, Jay Billis.
Well, Brad, we talked early on in the show about Michigan State getting points in transition. It was our spotlight. And Michigan State has been much more effective when they get the ball down the court and score quickly because they're having a problem scoring against Duke's half-court offense. Charlie Bell on the layup, then after the miss here, Michigan State gets it out quickly, and Mateen Cleves is able to get up the shot in transition off the screen. But when they're in their half-court offense, Michigan State has struggled here. Cleves taking it in against Avery and was unable to score. He aired it. So if Michigan State can get the ball in transition, they can get those easy scores without having to go against Duke's half-court pressure. Brett.
All right, good point. Cleves has only 1 basket, and he has only 1 assist.
I'll tell you this, I promise not to say this. They can't hear me at Michigan State right now, right?
I don't think so.
Mateen Cleves was 2 for 18 on this floor against Minnesota. He might not like this arena.
Okay, now that you've taken your mute button off, back to the action.
2 for 18 here.
Avery trying to come up with a steal, and Granger comes up with a foul. So Avery does his job.
Michigan State.
You got to be able to execute that half-court game. You got to be able to have and be a great team. The ability to go full court in transition and half-court. And it doesn't get any easier for Tom Izzo. From here, he's got a date with the UConn Huskies down in Connecticut, where Storrs, Connecticut right now is the capital of the basketball world.
#1 in both men's and women's hoops. They'll be awaiting Spartans Saturday. 35-23. Brand working hard down low, and the pass off the mark.
That's a tough angle, so you can't make that pass from that angle. You got to get to the foul line extended and get that 45-degree angle so you can create the opportunity to the baseline for your teammate.
Taman Domzalski had a good idea, just as Dick said, the wrong angle at it, and that turnover is the 10th for Duke. Michigan State almost turned it right back. Cleve's got an open three. Could have taken even more time to take that shot. Whether it would have helped or not, I don't know. And Peterson stepped on the baseline.
Yeah, steps on it. Out of bounds. It's 20 years this year since Michigan State won that national title in '79. They're going to have a big ceremony, bring Judd Heathcote back and all their people. And, of course, they're going to bring back the Magic Man in January. As you look at Don Rutledge, he's just talking to Mr. Izzo.
Tom's been around since '83.
You know, that 79, you mentioned Tom being around, but in '79, Brad, unbelievable, because I thought that was the kickoff to college basketball, getting so much visibility.
Bird and Magic, yeah. Michigan State, Indiana State final. Look at Langdon go to work with the ball handler.
Got to watch that 5-second count.
Avery on a running jump shot. And rebound, Cleves. Should be a 2-on. Nobody here.
Oh, yes. Hello. Little Jam City, Mr. Peterson. I really like that young man. They got a dandy one right there.
He's got 14 points in the first half.
I mean, that's productivity off the bench.
Now they're in that 10-point range again with a little over 2 minutes to go. And again, Dick and I keep urging them if they can get to single digits, that we might have a ball game in the second half.
See, Trajan went a little out of control. He should have pulled up at the three-point line and shot the three. He's such a great shooter. I'll tell you one thing, you got to respect the effort of Michigan State that they didn't fold when they were down 13-zip.
Yeah, that's right. And then got down worse. They were down 24-7 at one time.
See, right now, he's got to pull up. Hey, Brad, he can shoot too well. He gets the extra drive and penetration. He's got to pull up and shoot that jumper. Got to shoot the jumper.
Keep having that. One tire keeps coming off on Michigan State side. Got to tighten up those lug nuts. 1:48 left in the half.
Avery trying to work so hard defensively against Cleves. Set a screen for him.
And Avery got a hand in there. I think it's going to be on Avery. It is. That'll be his first. Don't forget, halftime is just a minute 42 seconds away. We'll have all the scores and highlights. We'll recap that first game tonight. The Rhode Island come-from-behind win. First half analysis. Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps along in a couple minutes.
Mateen Cleves to the line, shooting 1.
I'll tell you one thing about the state of Michigan. There's some great high school players year in and year out. Mick McCabe does a great job in listening and writing about him in a free press. And I tell you, they got some super Souths. I saw this kid, Robert Whaley. You should see this guy. I mean, he has got great ability. He's only a second-year player. Marcus Taylor, a junior. A kid by the name of Kelvin Torbert, a sophomore. They got such great young players in that state. It's going to be a war between Michigan and Michigan State. And don't forget Perry Watson down in Detroit. He'll get his share. Back in the game. They did not back down. They got back in the game, and they got to feel good about that.
In single digits, folks.
And they got to really come up with a stop right now.
Brand, tough catch down low. I think he pushed off.
Yeah, he did push off, and a great job of rotating over and getting some help because they know they can't play him one-on-one.
Help threw a little hook out there.
Watch the help come over. Now the ball goes down to the low block. It goes to Mr. Brand. Now right here, see the help coming over? There's the help. They got a double up on him. Look at the double up.
He got Granger right in the throat with the left hand trying to make that catch.
If this guy can only start to hit some shots, Mr. Cleves.
That's a force by Granger. Not a good attempt to try to get that ball in the lane.
Oh, they missed right now. They had a wide open player down court, dude.
Just over a minute left first half, 35-27. Burgess gave up an open shot and worked to get hammered.
He was wide open in transition and nobody spotted him. You got to keep those big guys happy. You got to get them some touches.
Granger picks up the foul with exactly a minute left first half. And now Smith's going to check back in, as will Domzalski. And Brand will go out. They don't want to get him a cheap third foul here with a minute to go.
Yeah, that's good. That's smart, getting him out of the game. You know, I talked earlier about 79. They used to play that matchup zone, and they had great players. Greg Kelser, Jay Vincent. Just a solid basketball club, well drilled.
Let's check that free throw form that's gone from 34% to 74%.
Looks pretty good right there.
Not bad. Quinn Snyder, who was a good free throw shooter, has been part of that teaching process of Chris Burgess, a 6'10 sophomore.
He's got that nice stagger start. Look at Quinn Snyder, good looking guy. I wish I had his looks in his hair. Unbelievable. Guy's got the whole package. Look at his see, look at his stagger stance now. He used to keep his feet parallel, get him to dip his legs, get those knees into his shot.
You go from 34 to 74%. You've improved.
Just maintain it.
Cleves three. Got it.
Oh, yes, sir. They need that from their All-American. They need that. That's the guy they need. They need the PTP because there's no doubt he can play.
Down to a half dozen.
Mateen Cleves, without a doubt, is one of America's premier point guards.
Force, but a foul.
They're very physical. I mean, they come after you athletically when you look at Michigan State. And that created problems in that game against Cincinnati. Cincinnati very active and very athletic. Next, a look at Mateen Cleves. He finally gets the ball to go through the net, baby. There it is. He comes up, squares, gets that jumper, tickles it. NBN, nothing but nylon. Look at the intensity. Look at the emotion. He said, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Give me the rock. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Corey Maggette out of, we said, Bellwood, Illinois, Fenwick High School. This is a free throw.
They wanted to battle down to Stanford. I talked to Mike Montgomery. He said the kid was just so talented in high school. You look at Maggette, who, as Jay talked about earlier, has been really under the weather physically.
Yeah, his first day back, really, today. Trying to be out here against the 9th-ranked team in the country, running up and down the court. Does get 1 of 2. 7-point game, and Cleves looks over at Tom Izzo and says, okay, coach, let's take our time, and we'll hit one here before the buzzer and go to the locker room down only 5 or 4.
I think right now, if you're Tom Izzo, Brad, you got to be really content with the effort of your kids. I mean, this could have been blowout city. We were ready to get our filler material. In fact, I have to admit this. I wrote down in your paper, R-O-U-T. Right. Oh, how wrong I've been.
They were down by 17 points. 24-7 at one stretch in this game. Now Cleves trying to go to work against Avery in the final seconds of the half. Trying to tip it up to Hudson, and I think he got pushed. Or not. Nope, they're going to say against Michigan State.
Yeah, I think they got Hudson over the back of Burgess.
With .8 left.
Look at Tom Izzo. He's smiling even right now as he likes the effort. He says, come on, now they can't give him that touch foul. Look at those two guys. Tom Izzo really working the trenches along with his assistants and recruiting, and he wants to play these national games. He said the only way you're going to get the kind of visibility and the exposure to be able to recruit the blue chip player, you got to play the great teams. He said, so we're going to play the Temples and the Connecticuts and the Dukes.
Burgess, 2 of 3 tonight.
You still have a few of those Spartan classics, and you bring in a couple of cupcakes, and you get a few wins. I used to love getting all the cupcakes. In fact, he used to tease me. A writer down here, an outstanding writer, Joe Falls, used to write sometimes, Dickie V wants to play all those cupcakes, baby, all those automatics. Bring them on. Wayne State and Oakland and Ferris State.
It's going to take a full court pass if they're going to try anything, and they don't have time to. But still, not too bad considering Morris Peterson kept Michigan State in this game. Down by 17 at one stretch, 24-7. They battle back courtesy of Peterson, and then some timely shots from Mateen Cleaves, and they're very much in the thick of this ball game. Down 17 at one point. They trail by 9 as we go to Jay Billis.
Thanks, Brad. Tom, your team started out very slowly. You had to be happy with the way they fought back, though.
Well, I was, Jay. I was very disappointed how we started out. You know, we just didn't do the things that we wanted to do. Call it intimidated, call it nervous, call it whatever you want, but we didn't do the job early.
Got a big lift from Morris Peterson off the bench.
He really did. He played hard, and he did some things. I thought we started checking better and doing the things that we have to do, but we really got off to that poor start, and it really set us back.
Well, Tom, thank you. Good luck in the second half. Brad?
All right, guys, thanks. Halftime. It is 39-30. The 4th-ranked team in the country leading the 9th-ranked team in the land. And don't forget Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps. Our halftime coming up from Chicago next.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Sam Adams. It's what's inside. And by the all-new BMW 3 Series. Everything your car does well.
Grant, in the United Center, this is as comfortable as you've looked in this building.
Yeah, I'm not sweating. I feel relaxed. I feel good. My team's winning, so that's not too often when I'm in this building.
Well, speaking of your team, this team's gotten so much publicity over the last few months as being such a great basketball team. If you compare this to the teams you played on, 91 and 92, the national championship teams, how do you think you'd do against these guys?
Well, you know, I mean, I think naturally I would think we beat them.
Knock off the humble stuff. Tell me the truth.
No, I think we beat them. I think, you know, the 92 team was a special team. You know, very confident, very knew how to play. And not that this team doesn't. This team probably has more talent 1 through 10. But I think that special 5, the starting 5, was real special. And hopefully they'll eclipse what we did. It's tough, but I think they have the talent, and they have, of course, the coach and Coach K to do it.
Well, you look like you're still staying in pretty good shape with this lockout. What have you been up to?
I've become an official Duke groupie. So I didn't make the trip to Alaska, but I've gone to a few games. I'll be in Durham, NC State, Florida, Michigan. That's on the agenda in the near future. And I'm just, you know, enjoying life as a Duke basketball fan. What I really want to know is how you got this gig, Jay. You know,
I've been kissing up to the right people.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Okay, all right.
When's this lockout going to be over?
I don't know. Hopefully it'll get done soon. It's unfortunate for the players, the owners, and of course the fans, but hopefully we can get it done. We can move on, and next time I'm in this building, I'll be playing against the Bulls.
Well, we're looking forward to it, Grant. Thanks for taking the time. Back to you, Chris.
Jay, thank you. College basketball has taken over this building, but I'll tell you what, we got Grant Hill, we had Pippen, Harper the other night, we got Steve Kerr tonight, Antoine Walker, Nazir Muhammad. You have a great pickup game after this game. Let's clear the floor, make it a triple header. What do you say? Dookie's up at the break. We're coming back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Foot Action. For every action, there's Foot Action.
Halftime at United Center. It is 39-30. 4th-ranked Duke leading number 9 Michigan State. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale back with you. The final 20 minutes of our 2-night event coming up. You know, it was 26-9, and you were sitting here looking through your magazine about what we could talk about. Tom Izzo just said, let's play defense, and it helped, didn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're going to show my magazine, show the whole thing so I can go out and buy the darn thing. I mean, you're just going to show half of it. But I'll tell you one thing. They were not intimidated. They really came out and they challenged in the last 10 minutes. And they didn't shoot well. You looked at the 71% for Duke, right. Only 36%, and they're only down 9. They're in the game. There is no doubt about it.
Morris Peterson kept him in the game. As you look at our EA Sports halftime statistics, that 70 looks like you should be out in front by about 30 points, but 12 turnovers, and the bench came to life for the Spartans, and Morris Peterson was a star in the first half, to be quite honest with you. 14 points, and so we still have very, very much a ball game between the Big Ten and the ACC. So our grade 8, 4 games, 2 nights, down to 1 half, and let's see if Michigan State can make it even more interesting here in the final 20 minutes.
You know, you mentioned Big Ten and ACC. That's going to happen next year.
Yep.
With that challenge match between the 2 conferences.
That will happen roughly about a year from now. Just about the same time we're doing this.
The #1 is going to play the #1, so maybe these two teams will hook up again.
Ohio State and Indiana will not be part of that. The only two teams in the Big Ten that won't take part. Foul is on Charlie Bell.
They got to come out with some stops now defensively right out of the gate. We've talked so many times about how the first 4 minutes is so big for teams that are down 9 or 10.
Carrawell got free, but he lost the handle. Brand, boy, he had to fight for that. Carrawell with a foul.
Carrawell always in the right place. One of those guys that's such an opportunist. Come on, help me out with the
opportunist.
Opportunist. That's what he is. Yep.
He takes opportunities and does something with them.
Yes, sir. Mr. Klein, they got to find his J, baby, because he can stroke that 3-point shot.
41-32. Langdon is the guy that can stroke a shot. Battier's wide open, and he decides he'll wait for something better or someone better. Brand down low. Double team. Outlet to Cleves. Nice lead pass on the break.
What a poor job defensively by Duke in transition. Nobody rotated back, did not have balance, and Cleves makes the good outlet, the good look, and they get the layup.
Down to 7.
They're not going away. They're too tough mentally. They will not go away.
Foul's going to be on Bell as Langdon was leading in trying to get possession. Here's the last basket.
There's the kick out. Nobody rotates back, and there's the easy deuce. That's a no-no. You don't usually see that in Duke basketball. I'll tell you one thing about Elton Brand. Every time he touches the ball, 2 or 3 people are around him.
You're not kidding. There, he touches it, and they didn't get 2 people on him, and he scored.
That was nice penetration right there by William Avery to kick it to his buddy, the Super Souths. What a great class that is. Burgess, Battier, Mr. Brand, and Mr. Avery. What a class next year. It only gets better. The Duke class coming in next year is absolutely sensational. Nice
pass, but Cleves couldn't quite get a handle on it. Good thought, but a little bit too far in front of him.
Next year, they bring in Jason Williams, a tremendous point guard out of St. Joseph's, Metuchen, New Jersey. Casey Sanders from my area down in Tampa, a 6'11" player. And they got Dunleavy, Michael Dunleavy's son, who they're really excited that they got. They beat out Carolina for him.
Battier had it stripped away as he was going to the hole.
You know, mentioning Carolina, when you look at the ACC this year, Maryland, I can't wait to see them Sunday. Gary Williams just got that new contract. I'll tell you one thing, everybody's raving about the Terps. And Carolina, with all those young kids, they just unblemished right now. See the double up every time he touches it. Reverse it. There's the kick out.
Carrawell maybe shouldn't have penetrated, got himself in some trouble.
They should have taken it right up to the basket. He played with Lauren Woods. If you look at Mike Krzyzewski, they hooked up together down at St. Louis. Lauren, by the way, they say is looking very impressive down at Arizona. Yep. He's a Marco Polo guy. Yeah, Jahidi White was at that same high school at Georgetown. Big space either inside.
Cleves got 3. Front of the iron, and here comes Avery.
He's got Carrawell or Brand.
I'll tell you, Brand got a little too far under the basket and missed it.
He had Carrawell on the left for a simple layup.
That's the split-second difference between a slam and missing a layup. And there's one that's not missed down low. Battier tried to take a charge, but Smith hung in with it. He's got 4, and again, it's a 7-point ball game.
Antonio Smith, so strong physically down in the box when he touches the ball.
Avery almost turned it over. Carrawell off balance, got it to go. Chance for a 3-point play.
Chris Carrawell driving down that lane, sliding and gliding, hanging up in the lane. You know, I mentioned recruits. They got Michael Chappelle sitting out at Michigan State, the former Dookie. As you watch Carrawell right there, ooh, wow, they wanted to charge. They wanted to charge. Look at Klein. Does Klein beat him to the spot?
So will Chappelle make your all Marco Polo team in future years?
Oh, yeah, he'll be in my magazine as an all Marco Polo, the traveling man. Couldn't get enough PT. Guys want PT. They want playing time.
That's the biggest problem that probably Mike Krzyzewski has. So much talent, so many McDonald's All-America type players. There's only one basketball, and you only put 5 guys out there.
Well, the bottom line is, as long as he keeps getting those McDonald's, there's going to be too many Wendy's. That's Mr. Bell scores.
Cleves just ran over Battier. And Battier, who led the Duke team in charges taken last year with a school record 29, just took one for the team right there.
I was only joking right now. I don't want a letter from Mr. Dave Thomas, who does a great job with those commercials with Wendy's. Oh, McDonald's means you're the epitome of McDonald's All-American as the best. Look at a rebounder inside. I mean, that's a big-time rebound. We're going to watch him working on a glass right here. Good offensive rebound.
Burgess on top. And Burgess took a step. He was thinking about heading to the hoop with it.
That's amazing. As you look at Mike Krzyzewski, Charlie Bell's an outstanding rebounder for a guard, just like we saw Andre Miller in that first game, even though they lost to Rhode Island and the super newcomer, Mr. Lamar Odom. He's a great rebounder as well, Andre Miller.
Here's Bell working against Langdon. Trying to get it down low, and it's intercepted by Burgess. So he gave one up on one end, got it back on the other. It was Battier that actually hustled to the floor to pick up the loose ball.
I'll tell you one thing, William Avery can get to the basket. He really has great driving ability.
Don't forget 3 more games Saturday on ESPN, a triple-header at noon. It's number 10 Temple against 16th-ranked Indiana. NC State and the same Duke team at 7. And then Arkansas and Oklahoma will tangle at 9 down in Norman. Our triple-header coming up Saturday on ESPN.
Well, I know you've got a big football game on Saturday, but I'm going to be down there at Cameron Indoor Stadium, and I'll be thinking of you as you're doing that WAC championship game.
You'll probably have as much noise in there as I will at this stadium out there.
Ooh, that Cameron Indoor Stadium. Oh, you're going to Vegas, right?
That's right.
You got to go see my buddy, Danny Gans. He's the best, I'll tell you, the best entertainer in Vegas. You call him up and you go see it. Danny Gans is phenomenal.
I think it'll be Lavelle Edwards and Fisher DeBerry entertaining me when I get out there. Good hustle by Burgess. Avery foul.
Burgess made that play happen. Burgess made it happen. Came out so highly rated in high school. Look, Mike Krzyzewski loves that. He loves that hustle and that scrap and that claw. Steps in now. Watch the deflection. There's the deflection. Coaches like to keep that sharp because they feel that if you deflect the basketball, you're hustling and scrapping.
Already 6 fouls on Michigan State. And we still have 16 plus to go.
I got a call from a buddy of mine, Frank Smith, and he called me from out in Michigan, and he said, hey, let me tell you about this Michigan State team. He said, they are for real. He said, Tom Izzo's got them believing. I'll tell you what, he's right. This team is going to be, no doubt, a contender all year in the Big Ten.
Would have been interesting, and it still may be interesting, but it would have been very interesting to see how this game would be progressing had they not fallen down 13-0 is how Duke started this one.
Well, they wanted to make it interesting. They said, we're going to spot them 13 out of the gate.
Avery fouls Hudson from down below.
Duke came out so focused and with such purpose. In fact, one of Duke's former players from Mike Krzyzewski here, Marty Clark, he has a company called Focus. He's passing out hats today. Focus.
15:56 remaining. Frank Duke with 15:56 to go in this one. Some happy action here in the grade 8 when we'll have a lot more happy action and fun time.
Oh, what is this?
Long.
What is this? Look at these coaches, Brad. Look at this here.
That's for the kids. There's Dick.
Oh, look at my ball dome. Look at that. Let's put some hair in it.
Look at the coaches behind you.
Oh, hey, look at Jimmy Boeheim. Come on, smile, Jimmy.
Coach Katie next to him.
Coach Katie. Now you know who this guy is. Look at this here.
Rick.
And there's Mr. Cheney, Mr. Majerus. Come on, smile, Boeheim. Come on, don't look so ugly. Let me block him up. He looks too ugly. Too ugly. I'm going to block him up. Look at Jimmy Boeheim. Well, what a team he has this year. They're really going to be outstanding. Eaton Thomas.
If you get the recent copy of ESPN, the magazine, on the inside, there's a schedule of every game that we'll have on ESPN and ESPN2, and it basically has those cartoons. And there's a magazine. It's Elton Brand, Brand X on the cover.
Great story on Elton Brand, written by Curry Kirkpatrick on the inside. Just a great magazine. I'll tell you, those people, John Walsh and company, have done a phenomenal job. Sports Center, magazines, radios.
I read that whole thing the other night. It's a great magazine.
Restaurants. You should see ESPN Sports Zone in Boulevard. I couldn't believe it when I went down.
They won't let me in.
And there's one that ESPN, the club down in Orlando. I mean, ESPN growing Mickey. We love little Mickey. Mickey Mouse, man. He has made us great. I love him when I get my check twice a year. Twice a month.
Twice a year, huh?
I look at that check and I thank Mickey.
Burgess picks up a foul. Cleve's just having some trouble on the outside shot tonight.
They're really struggling shooting the basketball. I got to attribute that maybe to the shoulder injury, to the ankle injury.
Avery, great look to Burgess.
I'll tell you, Avery's really doing a good job penetrating. Quinn Snyder's right. He's really learning how to be a point guard. Most of all, he wants to be a good one.
Lead goes back to 13 now. It's getting to be danger zone time again for Michigan State. They've got to find the offense and get it back down there to a half dozen if they're going to make it a game.
Very similar in terms of the situation we have with Kansas and Kentucky.
Klein short. Everything seems to be short. Michigan State looks sort of tired with their shooting tonight. Three chances, four chances, blocked by Burgess. Out to Avery. Avery's got Carrawell on the flank. He'll try to do it himself.
Oh, Carrawell wanted the lob. Oh, did he want that lob?
Cleves has to chase down this outlet pass. He pulls out. Running jumper's good.
Nice little medium range jump shot right there. You know, I said similar to Kentucky-Kansas. Kansas made that great run in the second half, and then Kentucky got the spurt and just broke it open.
Kansas got it down to about 7, and then that was it. Timeout taken by Duke.
Look at Battier's intensity in that timeout. They all reflect the personality of the guy that's in the middle of that huddle. Former assistant at Indiana, head coach at West Point. What a brilliant job at Duke.
William Avery, who Dick's been talking about, 7 points on the night, but that doesn't tell the story of his game. It's things like this. Look at that
Yeah,
pass.
nice little dish on the inside. He's what we call a combination guard. The ability to score as well as the ability to penetrate.
Avery, the Great Alaska Shootout most valuable player. And then Batty, look at the intensity. There's a guy that likes to take a charge and play defense, get rebounds.
The emotional leader. The emotional leader. Well, he's playing for bragging rights, too. He doesn't want to go back home to Michigan and have these guys looking at him and going back out with a W on him.
That's right.
He said, hey, I got to face those guys all year.
Langdon's been quiet since the first half. He certainly wasn't quiet in the first half with 17.
Those doing a nice job on him right now. Peterson played so well offensively.
Trajan came up short, but Smith couldn't handle the rebound. It goes out of bounds. Burgess on the inbound. Langdon way out. Missed the three, and Bell chases it down.
I'll tell you, the one area they've really done well, Michigan State, is really trying to neutralize Brand on the inside by giving a lot of help and really talking and communicating with each other and putting a body on him in the post.
I'll tell you what, that could have been a killer of a three-point shot. Let's see if Michigan State can make them pay, and there's a 6-point swing right there.
Yeah, big swing, and look who comes up big. None other than the Super Six man, Mr. Peterson.
Morris the Cat.
Yeah, he's big time here tonight, right? Mr. Cat, he has been big time.
Avery, and trying to take a charge is Peterson. He's done such a great job offensively tonight. He's 5 points over his average already.
Look at Morris. I tell you, he's becoming a star. Stars tonight. There he comes off the screen by Granger. Granger with that little down screen. Great touch by Mr. Peterson.
You know what Tom Izzo said about him? He says, you know, he used to be such a high wire act, and then he hurt his wrist, and he had to wear a cast for most of last year, and it made him slow down, see the game, and have to kind of learn how to play it. That's what his coach said anyway, and he's playing it pretty well tonight.
Yeah, he did play with a cast most of the year.
Avery is 4 for 5 in the second half from the free throw line.
Avery played in high school over in Augusta, hooked up with Ricky Moore, who starts in the backcourt for Connecticut.
So we got 1 of 2. Burgess fighting for the rebound. Possession arrow will go to Duke.
And that goes to the alternate possession arrow because of the fact there was really no defensive play there. The bottom line was, should have been a situation where it's basically two guys nobody had control of the basketball. I don't like the rule. I'll tell you the truth. There's too much subjectivity. The refs got to think and think and think. Bottom line is throw it up. Let it throw it up.
You like the spirit of it when it started.
Exactly.
The thought coming back, right?
But no question. Love the spirit of the idea to reward the defense. I'm talking basically from a block shot attempt where a guy blocks it and forces a hell of a ball. That's a great defensive effort and should get the ball.
3-second violation, turnover Duke with 13:32 left from United Center here in Chicago. The grade 8s and down in the second half of 2 days of basketball. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis. Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps, we've been here for 3 days and seen some good action, seen a lot of old and new friends, and Bell goes in and rings the bell.
That's what he is. He's going to ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. The bell rings with that slashing, driving, scoring ability of his.
Down to 7 points. This is the 4th time they've cut the lead to 7. They just can't get over that hump.
They just don't go away. They keep battling and battling on the defensive end. Izzo's got them really scrapping in their man-to-man defense, making contact with people, reading screens.
Uh-oh, Langdon got open. His man Bell fell down.
That's like shooting a layup for him. If he can get open space and get a look at the goal, it's like a layup.
19 for Trajan. Nice catch down low. Hudson got away, and that's his first basket.
Yeah, really quiet tonight. And this kid was a big-time producer last year, was very effective in the interior.
He's their leading scorer actually coming in, and that's his first basket with 12.5 minutes to go. Timeout taken by Duke as they were in a little bit of trouble. Michigan State trying to tie the ball up. They get the timeout called with 12:31 to go. Don't forget to join us Sunday nights football, 8:15 Eastern. Chris Carter and Randy Moss and Randall Cunningham in Air, Minnesota. The Vikings take on the Chicago Bears. And then on ABC's Monday Night Football, more NFC Central Division battle. It's going to be Brett Favre and the Packers trying to stay with the Vikings in the division to take on the Tampa Bay Bucks. ABC and ESPN, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football.
I'll tell you one thing. I saw Randy Moss play in high school at a camp. Outstanding basketball player.
Yeah. Let's check in with Jay.
Brad, Mike Krzyzewski, as that last timeout was called, went straight to the referees to complain that the shot that was just made by Trajan Langdon was actually a 3 and not a 2. Let's take a look at his feet. You can't really see it there as Langdon lets it go and swishes through the net. But Mike Krzyzewski thought it was a 3, Brad.
We're going to get a second angle, Jay, and you can probably watch us on your
Let's take a look right
too.
here. Let's take a look right here. Is he behind the line?
I think his tiptoes on it. We saw one of those in the first half, too, or in the first game tonight, I should say. One of Odom's. You know, if Trajan's wearing, 10.5s instead of 12s, that's a 3.
I like that.
19 points as it is, and 4 for 5 outside the arc.
Put on the flippers like our guy, Mr. McCullough, wearing size 15s instead of size 20s for Washington. Take a look right now. Take a look. Does his foot touch that line? I can't tell. I cannot tell from this angle.
Mike was a lot closer to it than we were. I'll give you that much. Cleves now still with a quiet night of 9 points.
He runs their offense, though. He's their guy. He's their catalyst. They look for him to get the ball to the right people.
And inside offensive foul on Smith.
Izzo wants the basket. He said, count the basket, and we go the other way. No basket. Waving right off with the Tom Izzo. The Steve, the fiery little paisan on that sideline. That was a big possession because that was down to 5.
Yep, that's that 7-point hurdle they can't seem to clear right now.
I tell you, they're really working on Brand inside, trying to keep the ball away from Brand in the post. Look at him trying to hold off position. What a great job by Antonio Smith. I mean, he's just beating up the post position. 3-quarter, fronting.
Here's Brand.
They're going to get the ball away from the basket. Wheels on the baseline. Oh, what a great move. I tell you, look at that agility right there. Agile, mobile, and he's not fragile. Such a lovable young guy, too, when you get to know him. Classy kid.
Please running 14-footer short on everything tonight.
Yeah, he's short-arming. He's short-arming. He's not following through on a shot.
Battier picks up his 3rd foul. Mateen's mom, Frances, is here tonight.
Oh, she's such an influence in his life. You read so many stories about Mateen, and he talks about his mom. And he hopes someday to really be able to take care of her and provide for her some of the niceties in life. And he will be able to do that.
And it's going to be an out-of-bounds. They were looking for free throws, and it's going to be an out-of-bounds play after the timeout. 11:25. Shane Battier had talked to you about all the charges he took last year And again this year. School record last year. He'll hold his ground right here.
Look at right there, stepping in, doing the little things it takes to get to the winner's circle. Mr. Battier from Detroit Country Day, playing on a defensive end.
Oh, and the home of the Grade 8, presented by EA Sports. 56-47 in the nightcap of our second night of nightcaps and doubleheaders here at United Center. Don't forget NFL football. We talk about Sunday, Monday night. Don't forget about Thursday night, a special 8:15 Eastern. The Rams take on the Philadelphia Eagles. A return of Dick Vermeil back to Philadelphia, where he went to a Super Bowl following the '80 season. And he says, hey, it's not Dick Vermeil coming back to Philadelphia. It's the Rams taking on the Eagles. But it's ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. The NFL tonight, by the way, starts things off Thursday night at 7:30.
He's one of my favorite guys, Shane Battier. We took a look at only because I love his attitude and the fact that he's willing to do all the little things that gets coaches into that winner's circle. We talked about taking the charge, playing a defensive end, being an emotional leader. There are a lot of roles out there that are important to putting a winning team together other than shooting the basketball.
Leads on the bench now.
Zone. Very rare do you see a zone out of Duke.
Granger, 5 seconds.
The zone defense, we're not ready for that zone after the timeout. Tom Izzo a little upset with their execution against the zone. Duke has not been able to put the knockout on them. They haven't been able to lay that real heavy right and knock Michigan State out. They just keep hanging around. There's the active zone. There's going to be a 5-second count. There's the 5-second count.
McGanny did most of that. Though it was his zone, it was his work in an almost man-to-man situation that helped force that turnover and give it back to Duke with a...
You're right. Match up defense out of that zone.
9-point Duke lead. Almost the midway point of the second half. McGanny turns and short from 15. A rebound off to Bell. Bell clears it to Kelly, and now they run. The Spartans get it.
I'll tell you one thing, they're athletic and they get out in transition, baby. R&R, rip and run, and they're beating Duke down the floor.
Morris, the Cat Peterson.
He has been impressive.
19.
He's as good as any six-man I've seen this year.
Don't get
We would have seen a great one last night, but unfortunately he had a bad shoulder, and that was Rushmell Jones down in Connecticut.
Trying the entry pass into Brand, and an offensive foul on Duke's going to give it back to Michigan State.
They just don't want to go away. You're going to let them hang with you and hang with you, and eventually you can really pay a price for that.
Brand picks up his third foul.
Brand working on the inside right now. There he is trying to get offensive position. Look at Granger fighting him in a post.
There's the right hand, the push-off.
You know what? You could blow a whistle in there about 30 times.
Sure.
I mean, you can blow it on anybody you want to blow.
Holding in the in college or NFL football.
Exactly. Oh, look at this. Oh, nice.
Battier, nice play, or that would have been an easy deuce as Cleves put some mustard on that thing intended for Hudson down low.
See, there's another example. That wouldn't show in the scorebook, but that deflection took away an easy layup by Shane Battier.
It's almost like a save. We'll come up with a new stat. Drive the truck crazy.
Deflection.
Save 2. A deflection saves 2. We're under the 10-minute mark. 56-49. 6 times it's been down to 7 points, and Michigan State can't get past that. Maybe they do now. Wait a minute.
He's got the full foul before the shot. In the NBA, that would count. In the NBA with continuation. There's no continuation.
They can get it under 7 here, but Mateen's going to have to do it at the free throw line.
Here it is now. They say the foul takes place before he releases the ball. I don't know, really close.
And that was not a shooting foul either, so he's not going to go to the free throw line to get it. Try it all over again.
He's got to drive to the basketball. Use his strength of the team Cleves to get to the basket.
There you go.
Mr. Herbie.
Tip doesn't go. They cannot get past the 7-point mark. Unlucky 7. Avery, 3-pointer.
Not a good shot right there in an offensive set. You're struggling. You want to get a better shot out of your half-court game than a jump shot in that situation, falling away.
Just seems like even the crowd is waiting for Michigan State to get past the point they're at right now, which is 56-49. They're trying to urge him on. This is a Michigan State crowd tonight here in Chicago. Peterson, that might be the guy. Still not. There it finally goes in.
Look at them working on the glass. They're beating Duke up on that glass right now. There's jubilation on that sideline. Remember, you people that joined us late, Duke jumped out to a 13-zip lead.
Three-pointer off the mark.
Here come the Spartans.
Cleves looking to push it. Klein. Rebound. Antonio Smith had his hand on it. Avery knocked it out of bounds.
They are really getting on the glass. Look at the jubilation on that sideline. Everybody's standing up, really working the glass right now. Peterson comes up empty. Look at that effort inside. Look at him playing up on the rim.
Rebounding in this game tonight. That has now become a 5-point game. Michigan State plus 13.
Wow.
On the season, plus 12 tonight.
How to keep you in games against people if you're not shooting well?
You know, in the 3 years Tom Izzo's been there, they led the Big Ten in rebounding twice, and they were second the other time. So they know how to crash the glass. Cleves, three. They go up trying to get another rebound, and Battier, I think, is going to be called for the foul on the inside. And so it's 4 on him.
4 on Battier, 3 on Brand. Very athletic. Speaking to the general last year, Robert Montgomery Knight, he said he was so impressed with their athletic ability. He loved guys like Smith and Hudson, the way they get up on the glass and play so hard. They're going to have a great year this year. There's no doubt about it. Michigan State's going to have a great season this season.
Michigan State has only been to the free throw line 4 times tonight. They have hit them all.
This guy has been really tough.
They keep it alive. They get the offensive rebound. Bell cross-courts it. Klein was thinking about hoisting up a 3.
They're going to get Hudson some touches inside.
Bell, well, how did he get that rebound? Then he missed it in close.
He's a big-time rebound, but there's that guy Hudson working on the glass.
Hudson walked with it. Boy, they had their chances.
They have a war drill they do where they just throw it up on the glass and they keep battling and battling to see who comes up with that ball on the interior. A lot of teams utilize that drill.
Just over 8 minutes to play. Tom Izzo looking on. His team has made it a ball game. They're only down 5.
They had a lot of opportunities. Double stack right there. 1-2-2 set out of Duke. Trying to spring somebody free in the lane.
Carrawell, I don't know if he called glass, but he used some.
I'll tell you, we talked about the up. Look at him run the court.
They turn it over, though.
And a layup. Really did a great job running the ball up the court after the score.
Pass intended for Langdon, and Bell runs it down. He's got Cleves on his right. He'll do it himself.
Nice drive by Charlie Bell. Ringing the bell again, Brad. They got a nice combination in the backcourt defensively with Cleves and Bell.
Bell's got 7 rebounds, Dick, to go with his 8 points.
He's a big-time rebounder for a guard. Very active. He's a slasher, a driver. You feel it's starting to get a little bit nervous time for the Dukies.
We're under the 7-minute mark. Langdon almost turned it over. And now, last touch by Michigan State out of bounds. It's getting a little bit tighter for Duke. As Dick said, they're only up by 5. 6 minutes, 52 seconds to go. Charlie Bell with the interception of the deuce. Down to the final few minutes. Night 2 of the grade 8. You think it's not getting intense between Duke and Michigan State? Think again. It is 58-53 here at the United Center in Chicago. Grade 8 presented by EA Sports, and it has become a dandy. 4th-ranked Duke trying to hold on now as Michigan State has pushed them for all they're worth. Bell with 7 boards to go with those 8 points.
Yeah, that's a guard we're looking at right there, rebounding like that. Big-time scorer in high school, scored 2,252 points, outstanding.
Brand kicks it outside of Avery.
At Southwestern High School in Michigan. Cleves doing a good job on the defensive end. Trying to take some time, look for the high percentage shot.
Shot clock running down. First time we've had to worry about it in 2 nights. And that should be a violation. It is a violation. Touched the rim.
Yeah, didn't hit the rim. Don Rutledge with the call. One of the premier officials in the game. They're having such a tough time trying to get the ball inside to Elton Brand. There was a matchup zone utilized by Michigan State.
I don't know if it had a bearing on that shot clock violation, but remember the clocks had a malfunction in the first game tonight, and they moved them down on the floor instead of up on the backboard.
Klein with a foul. I'll tell you, they're so active around the basket. Every deflection, they're coming up with the loose ball. I mean, Mike's got to be really concerned on that sideline.
Duke led by 17 in the first half. They led by 13 at one stretch here in the second half, and now it's down to 3.
See the rotation over on Brand. They're so quick coming to Brand.
Possession arrow, Michigan State.
They are so quick in their rotation into their double teams, and you got to be able to be alert and understand that when the ball touches you on the inside. There's a concern, Mike Krzyzewski.
As well he should be, with 5:53 left.
Because it's not a lack of effort tonight. It's not a matter of Michigan State in a situation where they're being taken lightly. Duke came out here today focused, giving their best shot.
Regardless of the outcome of this game, Michigan State, talk about focus, they refocused, I guess, after being blown out early in this ball game. And the fact that we're sitting here saying it's a 3-point game is a credit to Tom Izzo and his troops.
Well, people missed the first 3 minutes. It was unbelievable. It was right. Blitz City. It was 13-zip Duke.
He went out for a sandwich and a beer early in the game, and he just came back. We got a ball game. Langdon. Burgess. Nice hustle for the rebound. Avery a 3. Got it.
Big rebound. Credit that to Burgess. His hustle created the opportunity for William Avery.
Avery's got 11 points, a huge three-pointer, and Izzo wants to talk it over. That's not taking Michigan State.
That's a major, major shot right there by the South, William Avery.
His first three-pointer of the night, and it couldn't have come for Duke at a better time.
There he is hanging, look at the hands up, hanging up by the top of the circle. He can stroke it. He had the big numbers against Cincinnati, 30 points in that loss.
Beautiful follow through. Let's follow through to Jay Billis. Jay.
When Elton Brand turned that ball over, when Antonio Smith came over on the double team, that's not always his fault. Sometimes the passer has to look at the defense to see where they are. That time Chris Carrawell just led Elton Brand into a turnover. Brad?
Absolutely. That should have never been lobbed in there.
Exactly. Good call right there by Jay Billis. Former Dookie, played for Mike Krzyzewski 1986 when they went to the Final Four. Went to the final game, lost to never nervous Purvis Ellison for the national championship.
Along with Johnny Dawkins and Mark Gallery and David Henderson. A couple of those guys over there on the bench right now next to Mike, and one of us with a microphone in hand. That's not bad company, huh?
Well, one thing Mike loves, the loyalty factor, and he likes to have people that understand the pride of wearing a Duke uniform, and that's why his staff has all former Duke players, just like they do at North Carolina.
Under 5 minutes, Cleves penetrates, throws up an air ball.
Ooh, that was ugly right there. That was ugly. That was ugly. That was not a good-looking shot.
He's looking for a foul call. He's not going to get it on a 3 for 15 field goal night.
Ooh, he was 2 for 18 against Minnesota on his floor. So we're looking at right now 5 for 33 out of Cleves on his floor. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
He'll leave here and never want to come back. You can see the headline. Cleves leaves, will not return.
I like that. That's really creative.
Burgess inside.
Duke likes that better. Burgess with 2 big plays. Offensively right there, and on the rebound, kicking the ball back out to Avery in the last possession.
So they score 5 straight, and just when they're threatened, they come back and stretch it out to 63-55.
And this is a must possession right now. This is a momentum. They got to break the momentum with a score here in this possession.
Get it in Peterson's hands. Peterson sets the pick for Cleves. Still short on the shot. And big pile up inside. Going to be a foul on Michigan State.
Well, good job there, Duke. On a defensive end, really giving help to one another, really creating bad opportunities in terms of, look at the intensity. You love the intensity of these kids. They are so focused. Going to take a look right here. There's the drive down the lane by Cleves. Comes up short. There's the contact on the inside. Battier goes to the deck.
So we walk it down to the other end where Shane Battier, who's not a big scorer, but a big everything else, goes to the free throw line.
Well, Mr. Basketball, when he played in the state of Michigan, recruited by certainly Michigan and Michigan State, but opted to go out to Duke. Mike Chappelle, who also went to Duke from out of Southfield, Michigan, now has gone back home to Michigan State, where he'll be eligible next year, joining Jason Richardson and company as have some new exciting players. And everybody will be drooling, waiting next year. Who will get lucky and get Marcus Taylor?
Battier missed his second. So leaves it a single-digit game of 9. Bell packs it down low. Hudson, nice move against Battier and drew the foul.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. I like his post position. I like his quickness inside. Hudson came out of Trotwood, Ohio. Was not a big-time recruit. Wasn't really what you call an America's superstar, but a solid player. Certainly had a very good high school career at Trotwood Madison High School in Ohio.
That's going to foul Shane Battier unless our numbers are incorrect out of the game.
This kid played big last year in a big game against Purdue. 21 points, 7 rebounds. There's Battier going to the sideline.
Well, the numbers statistically will never show what he did tonight.
No, exactly. He's one of those kids, you forget about numbers. You just understand he does all the little things we talk about, the intangibles. Just like last year in Anamola, Okalaja down in North Carolina. Not going to get numbers with guys like certainly Carter and Jamison and company.
So Hudson's only got 2 points tonight. He's had a badly sprained wrist. You can see the heavy tape job around his wrist. And that hasn't helped his shooting night, obviously.
Very quick on the inside. Had great touch last year in scoring around the basket. And he will this year. As you said earlier, he's their leading scorer. They got 5 guys averaging double figures. A lot of balance.
Follows through nice on the 2 free throws with 3:43 left. And Duke has stretched it back out to a 64-57 advantage.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Madden NFL 99 from EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And in part by Nike. And benefiting Champs Life Skills, preparing student athletes for life.
Duke leading by 7, 3:43 left. They do spectacular things at times. They also do the little things that help win you ball games. They do have the big-time shooters like Trajan Langdon, who had a 17-point first half. There's one of his 4 threes, but they do a lot of other things as well.
Well, they right there taking a charge, Mr. Battier. And there's Mr. Brand doing what he does best, the power game inside.
And then McKinney forcing the turnover.
Yep, they're playing the defensive end. There's the forced turnover. And there's the tie-up by Mr. Burgess.
Shane Battier is fouled out.
Look at his versatility. Wow, look at all those numbers.
Had 3 block shots, 3 rebounds, 3 points. That's his triple-triple, and then a steal and a charge.
Mr. Basketball in 1997. This game gets right down to the last minute or two, and you got to go to the foul line. Mr. Langdon is only the best free throw shooter ever in the history of the ACC. There been some great players. He's got a career mark of better than 88%.
Avery driving on Cleves. Throws one up and drops it home.
This over the years is where Duke has always excelled. In the last 4 minutes of winning time, making smart decisions, really having a great basketball IQ, and so well drilled and coached down the finish of a game.
They've taken so many 5-point games and made it 13 at the end in that stretch. And here's a walk on Michigan State.
Really took command here, Brad. In the last 5 minutes, they've taken command. Time as those kids gave a great effort, but Duke really has taken command late in the game. They got a 24-game win streak at home right now at Cameron Indoor Stadium. They were unblemished, and North Carolina State really has to come in and execute really well to have a chance Saturday night. Spreading the court, trying to get a layup out of this, trying to bring everybody away from help position. Foul line extended. Notice everyone's foul line extended.
Langdon has a look now. Bell comes out to get him.
Now they're going to lay a
25 to go. 10 on the shot clock. Carrawell trying to feed it down low. Stolen away. Cleared out of there to Cleves. Peterson. Tip in by Hudson.
I'll tell you, Hudson really is a solid player. There he is again on the offensive boards. Left hand with that great tip. Runs the court exceptionally well. I love the way they get out in transition, Michigan State.
They don't waste any time getting down the court.
Charlie Bill was down there. Could have had a layup.
7-point difference, under 2 minutes.
So you want to spread the court, want to put the ball in Langdon's hands, hoping that they're going to try to foul and get possession of the basketball. So great when you got guys that are automatic at that free throw line.
Right, I was going to say because of that, as you just mentioned, maybe too early to send them to the line. Well, offensive foul, they don't have to go there. Don't forget Sports Center coming up in a couple of minutes. Bill Pito, Carl Ravitch, College Hoops Highlights. Clemens wants out.
Oh, he wants
Wild
out.
West in the NHL.
Wow,
Bill and Carl have all the action coming up for you, including NFL news as well, and it's all about 95 seconds away.
Why don't Clemens go down to Phoenix down there and hook up with Randy Johnson?
Oh,
How
yeah,
would you
they're
like
out
to
of
face
money
that?
down there, maybe. I don't know.
The Sherry Colangelo will go to the bank account. He's got so much cash, he'll help him out.
Antonio Smith averaging about 10 points a game, only 4 tonight, and he did not get the roll. And now Duke, 2 guys fighting over it, it looked like, but going to be a foul.
I tell you, Burgess really been productive off the bench. He's come in, he's really hustled and scrapped. He's made a couple of good plays when they've needed some help. Look at Battier. He's cheering. Look at him cheering right now. He's cheering. He wants to be a cheerleader. He wants to go back to Michigan with feeling like $1 million.
He'll be better than he felt being sick the last few days, that's for sure. Burgess, 7 points, 3 boards, and a lot of hustle, as Dick said, off the bench. He'll go back to the free throw line.
You know, a big-time reputation, Chris Burgess. He is right now.
3 for 4 from the line. Oops, that one he fell away from a little bit. His new style is still working on it.
I tell you, last year had no chance to go in. At least this year there's chance. He is for the season shooting 74%. You can't believe what an improvement this guy has made unless you watched him all of last year. Here he is in a stagger stance, gets that nice follow through.
8-point ball game, down to a minute and a half, and Michigan State wants to talk about it with 1:28 remaining. Spartans trying to make a big comeback. Coach Izzo trying to urge his troops on, but time is of the essence now. 1:28 remaining, 67-59. It at one point in the first half was a 17-point game. Michigan State got it down to 5 points and then finally to 3 points, but it's been Duke coming back now when they needed to. 20 turnovers in the game, but shooting 59%. Peterson launches a 3.
I tell you, big time right there. That kid's been big time all night long.
New career high, Dick, 24 for Morris.
2 possession game. These kids don't go away from Michigan State. I'll tell you one thing, they just keep hanging and hanging in there. Oh, dangerous pass right there. That's a dangerous pass.
Peterson played for the steal, picked up the foul instead. And now Mr. Automatic will go to the free throw line. Trajan is shooting 97% this year. Actually, it's a little bit above that now because he had 1 free throw on that 4-point play in the first half. He is 30 of 31 from the free throw line this year. And he just rips another one.
I'll tell you, just so automatic. Just count it. Why do I have to waste time here? We're in a hurry. Well, let him, don't even shoot it. Just put it in a book. And the guy's automatic. Look at that stroke. Oh, what a stroke he has.
21 for Langdon. Cleaves takes it all the way down and then ran into Burgess and thought better of trying to put it up. That did get it to Smith, though. Smith, a nice move to draw the foul. 58 seconds left, and that guy in the middle of the huddle with a 13-point night, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and only 1 turnover. That's running the show, and he's our EA Sports Player of the Game, William Avery of Duke. At the free throw line, Antonio Smith, quiet night offensively.
Yeah. You know what's really got to be a positive for Tom Izzo? They spot him 13. They get a really subpar performance from their All-American.
They still only down 7.
Exactly. That was not the real Mateen Cleaves. I mean, he'd be the first to tell you he's such a proud kid, and he'd tell you he did not play up to his potential. And yet,
3 out of 16. Now, he may or may not get another field goal attempt. So Smith has 5. And now Langdon will keep it in his hands as long as he can, because
that's just smart coaching right there. You know that he's the guy you want on the line. You get everybody out of the way. You foul him, and it's just automatic. Mike Krzyzewski feels like $1 million when he goes to the free throw line. Michael Kay, one of the great coaches in college basketball.
Ever. 44.3 remaining.
Let me tell you a little about Michael Krzyzewski. My admiration for him is not just what he's done on that sideline. I got to know him really well in the Jimmy V Foundation as we both serve on a board of directors. This compassion, this love this man has. And if you don't believe me, make a call right to Cary, North Carolina, to a youngster by the name of Kevin Lynch. Kevin is going through a little tough time now, and all I can simply tell you, Kevin thinks the world of Michael Kay, because Michael Kay is a caring, compassionate person.
You guys do a great job with the golf tournament down there.
Well, anybody listening to Mike will be playing Kentucky in that big classic for the Jimmy V. Just call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V if you want to make a donation on behalf of Jimmy to battle that unbelievable disease, cancer.
Langdon, a perfect night as it normally is from the free throw line, 5 in a row.
You just feel so confident if you're a coach when you see him go to the foul line. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He's got that great stroke.
Quick timeout, 40 seconds remaining.
EA Sports presents Cyberberry.
40 seconds remaining in the ball game, 71-63. Michigan State needs points. They need them quickly, and they need stops and everything else. Well, they got the first part of it. Nice feed inside, and Andre Hudson slams it home. And now they're playing full court pressure here with 34 left, trying to come up with something. And at least they foul somebody other than Trajan Langdon. They get Avery.
Andre Hudson working on the inside, gets a deuce. Well, that's been a lot of fun. We've seen some great players. We have not seen great basketball every night, but we've seen some outstanding individual performances.
UConn got pushed by the other Husky team and then went out to a 21-point win. Kentucky and Kansas good for about a half, and then it was all Kentucky. The 8th-ranked team picks up their 6th win against just one loss. Early tonight, Utah led over Rhode Island, and Jim Herrick's Rams came back with a tremendous performance to come from behind and win that. And now here we are, final 31.6 seconds, a 6-point lead, but a missed free throw has left the door at least open a little bit. The second one goes in. Don't forget, Sports Center is coming up shortly. Cleves forces one. He had to, and it almost went in. Hudson, offensive rebound, and he got it to drop.
I'll tell you, you got to be impressed with that effort at Hudson on the inside. He was so positive here late in the game.
Duke's going to take a timeout. That's how scary it's become. Down to 5 with 21 seconds.
Well, you know, 2 possessions, a lot of crazy things have happened in a game of basketball. I'll tell you, if they go in the locker room with an L, that man, Tom Izzo, has got to be proud of their effort. And this week here, I think Cleves said it best. Even if they were to lose this game, and certainly it's not going to be an easy task going to Campbell Pavilion down there in Storrs, Connecticut, playing Connecticut on Saturday. They got a true idea of how good they really are playing against the best.
And if they even would have hung within 8 points, let's say, at the beginning of the game, instead of getting down 13-0 and then 21-4, I mean,
wow.
Could have been a different story. Still might be. Who knows? 21.2 left.
2 possessions. I mean, I'll tell you, some crazy things can happen. The bottom line is they're going to need some help from Duke, though, to be able to try and move.
Possession arrows with Michigan State. Everybody shooting free throws and a timeout left on each side.
They had crazy things happen to them when they played Temple. They thought they had that game locked. And Pepe Sanchez with a miracle performance at the end.
Pepe had a free throw, being fouled by Cleves with basically less than a second to go. And here now is a foul on Bell.
Foul shots become so big late in the game. Plays the really important factor in terms of getting to that winner's circle. I'll tell you one thing about Duke. They're going to get everybody's best shot, too.
Sure.
Everybody hears about that name. It's like Notre Dame in football. It's like you talk about Ohio State in football. If you talk about in basketball, North Carolina and Kentucky and Kansas. They get everybody's best shot. People play on another level against them. The 3-star plays like a 10.
Don Rutledge over talking to the scorers table. And meanwhile, Tom Izzo, unless they called timeout they didn't have, now they're going to send the Spartans back out there and get them out there. Each team has a timeout left, though, as we saw on the reset.
Well, we're playing the exempt games now. You got those 5 30-second. You know, I don't mind that. I think that's a pretty good rule, the 5 30-second timeouts. It speeds up a game at the end. People don't save them at the end, the full timeouts and foul, foul, foul. So that might not be a bad rule. The 45-second clock, I don't like it.
I think the discussion was who the foul was on, because if it was on Bell, and it was, that has fouled him out, and I think that's what took so long. Carrawell missed a free throw.
Well, it keeps him alive, keeps it a 2-possession game, a score and another quick foul.
Even if he hits this one, they know they're going to have to launch a three-pointer on the other end.
I'll tell you one thing they do really well. They get the ball up the court quickly.
Yes, they do.
Cleves does a phenomenal job of pushing the ball up the court.
Carroll got the second. Now let's see him get it down there in a hurry.
Did a great job right there, Avery, to make sure they couldn't get the ball in Cleves' hands.
Last time out taken by Michigan State with 14.8. They can set things up. They trail by 6.
Well, last year they did such a great job in the tournament. They run into a buzzsaw when they had to play North Carolina down in Charlotte, but they stopped that unbelievable express train of Princeton. They were on such a roll. A lot of people thought Princeton would beat them with their great offensive execution, but they really responded and played so exceptionally well in that game. Jack Ebling, a fine writer from out of Lansing, he's got a new book he just came out, and it really highlights a lot of the magical moments of Michigan State basketball. I was looking at it in my room yesterday, and there's some great stories. If you're a Michigan State fan, you're going to love that book on Magic Johnson and company, and the history of Michigan State basketball.
Spartans out of timeouts. Possession arrow is theirs. The ball is theirs, but they need a three-pointer, and they need to foul somebody in a hurry. Yeah, they're going to get. Oh, they won't even get the 2. Brand clears it out, and that'll just about do it. Nate James has it. And Duke survives a pretty good run by Michigan State to get back in the hunt in this one. But number 4 survives number 9 in our final grade 8 game of 2 days. Coach Izzo and Coach Krzyzewski both put on an excellent performance. And the final 73-67. Don't forget, Sports Center is coming up next. Grant Hill is a happy onlooker here at United Center. And we thank you for being with us here for 2 nights of basketball action at United Center in Chicago. Some great tradition and legacy, Duke and Michigan State. And Durham tradition means Cameron Crazies, Final Fours, and the back-to-back championships of the early 90s. There's been magic at Michigan State as well. And last year in the NCAAs. This year they put on a good show and a come from behind, but it was Duke at the end. Final score 73-67. We thank you for being with us. For Dick Vitale and Jay Billis, Brad Nessler, so long from Chicago. This has been a presentation of ESPN, your worldwide